MLK Day now been shifted to Trump Day. Again, what more evidence do we need on what the hell is going on in the United States of America?
I'm trying to be cool, but goddamn.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into The Sauce, your source for celebrity news, current events, hip hop, pop culture, politics, gossip, and more.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into The Sauce, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. As you already know, over the last couple of years, there's been a concerted effort to try to erase Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy and to also stop people from celebrating his birthday as a holiday. So, you know what that means? That means that with a little help from T.I., IshowSpeed, and Martin's kids, we're getting ready to celebrate MLK's birthday on his federal holiday, which, by the way, will never be Trump Day no matter how many different proclamations Donald Trump signs. Listen, do me a favor and hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that too. Source, can you please drop the video?
Martin Luther King was born in 1929 from Atlanta, Georgia. His family was divine. He hailed from a long line of pastors who preached the word through the Bible and its chapters. Sunday morning echoes, hymns in the air. Little boy watching truth get shaped in the prayer. Learned early that a voice couldn't move a crowd when it's rooted in love and it's spoken out loud. He went to college at the age of 15. Maybe Morehouse was where he started to dream. He graduated with a BA degree. Then he went to Crozier College to study theology. Young mind, old soul, book stacked high. Studied peace, asked questions most fear to try. Learned God wasn't silent in the face of pain, and the gospel meant action, not just words you claim. In 1953, America read the sky. In 1954, he made Dexter have his spot. In 1955, he led the bus boycott, a non-violent protest to make segregation stop. People walked for a year, rain on their backs. Faith was the fuel when the system attacked. Bombs on his porch, still he preached don't hate. That's strength when you love in the face of fate. In 1957, he led the SELC, a Christian organization, non-violent like Gandhi. He led marches from Mississippi to Birmingham, with black men marching behind him, shouting, I am a man. Jails couldn't break him, dogs couldn't scare. Fire hoses blasting, still courage was there. Every step was a sermon, every bruise was a song. Turned suffering into power, kept the movement calm. In 1963, he went to Washington, D.C. That's when he told all the people, I have a dream. He reminded the people that we all are kin, and that we shouldn't judge others by the color of their skin. Words still echo like bells in the air. A vision so clear you could almost live there. Not just hope, but a blueprint to follow. A promise of justice for every tomorrow. Hey. In 1968, he went to the Lorraine Motel to stay. And that's when he was assassinated by James Earl Ray. Hey, hey. But a bullet can't kill what a dream ignites. His voice still marching through the streets at night. From classrooms to protests, his message remain. Non-violence, truth, love over chains. Yet a man is gone, but the mission still breathes. Every time we stand for justice as king.
I do not choose to follow the path of despair because I think that there is a way out, even though we do have to face the problems that have developed and the conditioning that has developed as a result of this problem existing a long time. But I do think there is a way out, and I think that with the creative minority standing up with determination to solve this problem, we can solve it.
You ever catch the guy?
The guy that they caught was caught 65 days later, and he allegedly pled guilty. There's some lingering questions as to if that man actually could do it. And so what we plan to do, the National Civil Rights Museum, will tell the full comprehensive story of what happened to Martin Luther King, and we'll let our visitors know what happened.
This is the spot where Martin Luther King passed away. He stood right here. Room number 306, y'all. Room number 306.
Man. So I know that you have stated that part of your mission is to make sure that people know the whole man that your father was. What do you think people get wrong about him?
That he wanted a colorblind world.
He wanted
I have a cousin that says if you think the world is colorblind, then you need glasses because you can't see.
Right.
Daddy never wanted us to live in a colorblind world. He wanted us to respect, understand different cultures, different communities, not discount that, do away with that. He just didn't want the negative, that in order for me to get this job, it's gonna count against me because of my race.
Right.
My ethnicity, my religion, whatever the case might be. So people get that wrong a lot with I Have a Dream, and they're using it now. We know with all the DEI doing away with all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That he's become their champion, so they're misusing and taking out of context his words, forgetting everything he talked about before I Have a Dream.
Right.
That we still have issues with. Some of the stuff we made some progress, but we still have police brutality. He talked about police brutality. In I Have a Dream. He talked about that bad check.
I remember one of the fondest memories of one of your father's speeches is when I saw him say, I believe I've integrated my people into a burning building.
Now, how do I address that? I'm going to say it this way. As a Christian, we have 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are different perspectives on their experience with Jesus. I can't say what my father literally said to somebody, but what I can say in studying him, it doesn't make sense that he would say that. Why do I say that? This is the same man who said that he was going to stand by nonviolence until the day regardless. He was fully committed to it. This is the same man that knew but still had hope that we could transform America. A burning house to me suggests there's no hope, period. And I don't see my father getting to that hopeless place. In fact, he said in his last words, we got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. Like anybody, I live a long life. Longevity has a place. God has allowed me to go up to the mountain, and I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know that we as a people will get to that promised land. So I'm just not sure about that.
Do you think that statement where the promised land he referred to, you think we've made it there already, or it's somewhere we still have yet to get to?
It's still yet to get to. It's a place where people can truly share in the wealth of the earth. We're nowhere near that. Because we think we have to exploit other people for our gain. And there's a way to do things collectively in a way that everybody can benefit.
Martin, I have to ask you, when you look at the current state of this country, even the stories you were hearing leading up to this, what do you think that your father would say?
Well, I think, number one, had my father lived, we would be in a different place than we are in our nation today. But one of the quotes that comes to mind is, how do we hew out of a mountain of despair a stone of hope? How do we bring the nation together? We are operating, it feels like, at least from the leadership perspective, not in the most civil fashion. We have lost the decorum of civility. Civility must be brought back to the landscape. It doesn't mean we will agree on every issue. We're not a monolithic group of people. We come from all kind of different backgrounds. But Dad's message perhaps is even more prevalent today than it was even probably a little bit after his lifetime, because of the divisions And we are much better as a nation than the behavior that is being exhibited. And I think that that part of our job is to challenge us to embrace. It's not just nonviolence. That's a critical part of what we believe. But it really is, how do we become the best of the United States of America to provide leadership around the world? We're not exhibiting that at this point at all.
It's so interesting that you started that saying, had your father lived. A very important point to make. Martin, right now, the future of the Voting Rights Act is in the hands of the Supreme Court. They'll specifically look at Section 2, which prohibits discriminatory voting practices on the basis of race, and they'll decide whether that's constitutional. Your father said a voteless people is a powerless people. What is your take on this?
Well, this is such a critical piece of legislation. It is very unfortunate that the court appears to be poised to decimate it. And when you look at the bedrock of what was one of the most important initiatives that Dad and his team and many others worked for, was the Voting Rights Act. And the fact that John Lewis himself was able to write a piece of legislation that would make voting fair and just for all, and yet the United States Congress chooses not to pass that legislation. We are in dire straits at this moment. I hope that the Supreme Court is looking at it in a different way than what we've seen reported. And I think that we're going to have to keep up just the momentum of saying how precious this right is, particularly when we're getting ready to observe the 250th anniversary of this nation and its history. And yet it feels like that portion is trying to go backward. We're not where we need to be. But what I know is Dad and his team, Mom and her team showed us that it only takes a few good human beings to bring about change.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into The Sauce. Your source for celebrity news, current events, hip hop, pop culture, politics, gossip, and more.